What's up, FISE family? Welcome to the final day here in Sakai, Japan, and the last World Cup stop of the season. Everything comes down to this. We're starting with the women's BMX Freestyle finals, and the narrative couldn't be bigger. It's a head-to-head battle for the top spot between Kim Leamur and Miharu Ozawa. And there's still a lot more action that's gonna go down in the overall World Cup leaderboard. I am excited for it. Dustin, how are you feeling today?
Dude, I am so stoked. Such a blessing to be here. And like you said, the story that's unfolding here in Sakai at this final World Cup stop is wild.
We had a brilliant year so far. We started the year off in Montpellier in May. Then we went to Shanghai just last month. And this is going to be the pinnacle of this BMX Freestyle World Cup season. Now, there's two names that we're really going to focus on today, Dustin. And those names are going to be Kim Leamur and Miharu Ozawa. And still on the podium, the overall World Cup leaderboard, there's still a lot that can change. For example, we've been talking about Natalia Diem.
Yep.
So in the case that Natalia gets on the podium today, so that means third or even better, then she'll be able to get Hannah Roberts off the podium. Now, let's take a look at this park setup. Now, Dustin, this park looks rather familiar.
Such an epic canvas from the Tokyo Olympic Games, and it's just crazy everything that it has to offer. And something to really take note of is how big some of the gaps and transfers are and how much speed the riders are going to have to carry to make their way around the course to really utilize it to the fullest. Again, you're getting a look at it. That box jump in the middle is 6.5 feet tall. Those corner pocket quarter pipes are standing just over 10 feet tall. The vert walls all coming in at 17 feet tall. So this is a massive course, and that spine in the middle, over 11 feet. So that is a massive feature as they step down out of that elevated portion.
I mean, I walked over this park today and I felt really dwarfed by the size of these ramps. Could also be that I'm a short king. Might have something to do with that as well. But yeah, I mean, this park really gets the best out of all these riders.
Yeah.
And we're seeing a lot of the big classic tricks. Yeah, like last night we saw Gustavo roasting the box jump setup. But there's also a lot of technicality going on here. And that is all gonna happen here in the women's BMX Freestyle finals. And of course, all
BMX
that action will be
Freestyle
judged.
Park is pure commitment in an XXL skate park. Riders perform in a park designed to maximize possibilities. Ramps, boxes, quarters, spines, fun boxes. Every obstacle is an opportunity to create unique lines. But the secret isn't just throwing down big tricks. It's about using the entire skate park. Judges reward riders who can flow from one obstacle to another, exploit every space, and build a run that's both smooth and creative. Each rider gets 2 runs of 1 minute. Only the best run counts for the final ranking. How are they judged? A panel scores each run based on difficulty. The more technical the trick, the higher the score. Amplitude, height, speed, and power. Creativity and originality, surprising the crowd with unique style. Flow and use of the park, linking tricks seamlessly and riding the whole course. Control, because mastery makes the difference. BMX Freestyle Park is a battle of creativity, technique, and adrenaline, where every second counts.
And that was a quick masterclass on judging and judging criteria. And here we have our judging panel from right to left. We have Dave Dilleward, Christy Hughes, Axel Jurgens, Igor Poki Vukadinovic, Dave, also known as Hank Kleeworth, and our head judge for today will be Brian Kaczynski.
Yeah, these guys are all legends in their own right, and their ability on the bike and then off the bike and being able to judge everything that's going to go down by these amazing women riders.
And in a couple of seconds, we're going to head down to the park, to the floor, and introduce our potential champions for this FISE Sakai, our last World Cup stop of the year. To show you a bit of what went down yesterday, we had the women's qualifiers, and everyone really wanted a spot in the final 12. Everyone putting that work in.
Yeah, getting to see what these women were able to do. And so this was where both runs counted. And so now it's going to be best run. And so they're going to take it up to a whole nother level in everything that we're going to get to witness in the finals.
It's going to be time to fire all cylinders. But first, let's get down to the floor. Let's get to Catfish RMC.
Welcome to beautiful Sakai, Japan for the FISE World Cup final stop. 12 of the best females in the world battling it out. When this contest is over, we're going to have ourselves a World Cup champion. Let's meet our competitors. From Toyama, Japan, Yuika Yamamoto. Representing Okayama, Japan, Minato Oike.
Minato Oike, her last dance today as a professional bike rider.
Riding for Team Germany, Kim Leah Müller.
The current European champion.
Representing Team France, Valeria Lubimova.
All the way from Montpellier.
Riding for Team Brazil, Eduarda Duda Penso.
Very stoked for her getting into her first World Cup final.
Representing Team Japan, Nene Naito. Representing Australia Cycling, 18 years old, Sarah Nicky. Riding for Team Germany, Liliana Ziedler.
Liliana scored 6th at the last FISE Shanghai.
The youngest rider in this final at just 15 years old, representing Gifu, Japan, Mio Yoshida.
So crazy, 15 years old, being able to shred at this level.
And already making an impression in Shanghai as well.
Representing Team Germany, Lara Lessman.
Also a part of the FISE legacy, Lara Lessman, competing pretty much every year.
Olympic bronze medalist riding for Team Australia, Natalia Deem.
Natalia Deem, currently in 4th on the World
And
Cup.
your #1 qualifier from Gifu, Japan, 16-year-old Miharu Ozawa.
Miharu has been absolutely shredding. Very excited
Sakai,
to see
these
her
are your
runs
finalists.
this
Let them
afternoon.
hear you.
So all the riders are going to get into their starting spots. But what a lineup of women riders we have for us in today's final.
So some of the names to really look out for, I would say Liliana Ziedler. For some of us, a new name on the scene, already coming up with some really technical and big tricks. For example, at the last World Championship, even trying a 720 on one of the biggest spines.
Yeah, again, this course is huge.
And maybe, Dustin, something to address. There is one rider missing today, and that is Hannah Roberts, who is currently in the lead on the World Cup leaderboard.
Yeah, she had a heavy slam in Saudi Arabia, and so just praying for her as she recovers and be able to come out swinging next year.
So I'm certain we're going to see her again in 2026. So our best wishes to Hannah if she's watching from back home in the US. Wishing her a speedy recovery. So that's a look at that leaderboard. So Hana still in first, but it's going to be a battle between Miharu and Kim. So they will automatically have the first and the second spot in the overall leaderboard today. But Natalia is currently sitting in the 4th place. If she scores 3rd place or better, so that means podium, whichever place, doesn't even matter, she will jump over Hannah Roberts in the overall leaderboard. So what happens if there's a tie on the leaderboard, it is the last stop that will be the tiebreaker. And with Hannah not being here, that will automatically mean a 3rd place in the leaderboard for Natalia, since Hannah Roberts is unfortunately not here.
And then, yeah, the battle between Kim and Miharu is crazy. Pretty much whoever places ahead of the other is going to take that World Cup title. So a lot on the line. But with that, we are going to go to our first rider, holding it down for Japan. Yukiya ready to go. Very excited. Again, 15 years old to be competing at this level in front of her home country crowd. So awesome. And here we go. She's in.
We're cranking the music up for Yuika Yamamoto, starting off with a lofty 360 on that big jump box. Heading up the wall, building up that speed again. There she goes. Nice and easy with the bar spin.
Yo, tabletop into that vert wall. Flowing over that fun box.
And there's a lot of pressure on you if you're the first rider to drop in.
What?
Oh, 540? Because
Yes,
the first rider
Yuika
to ride will be the reference score that will be used throughout the whole contest. But Yuika's doing a really good job, still has plenty of time. Look at that tail whip into the wall.
Yuika Yamamoto on it right now. She comes into her final moments, boosting over the box jump. And that's going to be time for Yuika. Wow, that 540. So good. Again, 15 years old. Throwing down out here in her first run, getting this finals party started for us. Let's take a look at some of these highlights. Yuika started off, lofty 360. Casing a little bit, but keeping it going. And then right here, the 360 over the coping to coping spine. Straight into this 540. Keeping that front tire off of that vert wall and just bringing it in so smooth. Right there, getting the X up over that coping to coping spine. And then an awesome tail whip stepping back into that vert wall on the other side of the course. Yuika's got to be stoked on that. Score coming in 65.4. Set that baseline. And then from Yuika, we go to fellow Japan rider Minato Oike.
And this is going to be a special World Cup for her. This is her last competition. She posted it on Instagram earlier this week as a professional bike rider. And what a way to say goodbye. Starting off with that first run here for Minato Oike.
Yo, tire grab over that spine. What? Straight into a backflip. Oh! Looping out a little bit, but right back to her feet.
Come on, Oike.
These riders are so tough. Be able to take a slam like that, get right back up. She's still got a huge smile on her face, just enjoying this moment. And it's so awesome. I remember the first time she came over to Woodward West, I was living out there and just getting to shred with her and Rim as they came to the States. It was just so much fun to see the way that she has progressed and everything that she has accomplished in her career, riding in the Tokyo Olympics, and everything is just so awesome to be a part of this moment. Let's watch this replay, see where things went wrong. So again, great form on the flip, but pulled a little too hard, over-rotated, or what we would call looping out. But thankfully she did get that back wheel down, slowed down the momentum, and then she was able to slide out and get back up. But again, it is best run counts, and so she could throw that run away and come out run number 2.
So as Dustin said, another shot in the second run. But first, next up, our World Cup contender, Kim Lea-Müller. And as she is getting ready to drop in, let's see at her season. Second in Montpellier, fifth in Shanghai, raking in 1,620 points. So currently in third, right behind Miharu Otzawa. So started off the year really strong with that second spot in Montpellier, absolutely dominating the course.
Yeah, has just been riding so well this year. So it's cool getting to see these replays and just see the different courses and the level of riding that Kim's been bringing this entire year.
So I have to correct myself. It was at 5th place in Montpellier and 2nd in Shanghai just last month. That silver medal right behind Hannah Roberts. But now the big question will be, how will she do here in Sakai? And the general rule of thumb today will be whoever places in front of the other for Miharu or Kim, she will take the overall win. And there, Kim Lea-Müller drops in, starting off with that 360, heading to the big jump box, 360 bar spin. Oh, keeps it going, heading into that vert wall. That's a display of bike control by the German champion and European champion Kim Lea-Müller. 40 seconds on the clock. Here we go, back onto the higher section of the Tokyo Olympic Park. Heading to the big box, backflip, nice! Has a whole German national team behind her, cheering her on as she's making her way across the park with that 360 can-can over the spine. 20 more seconds for Kim Lea-Müller. Tail whip, stops it. Bar spin. Heading up the wall, that's a 10-second buzzer. One more that she has up those European sleeves. Can-can and time for German Kim Lea-Müller.
Let's go. Such a solid run from Kim, and she has got to be so stoked to get that done. You see the smile on her face. She comes over to her team, and that was awesome. Hanging on, keeping it under control. Take a look at these highlights right at the top of that massive spine. And then this truck driver, he was right on the edge into the hip and keeping control of the bike in her run. Right there, that backflip.
And as we're watching these replays, Kim is talking to her German team coach, but also to her coach expert, Josh Carey. Kim has been putting in a lot of work riding in Australia with her boyfriend, Dean Florian. And points coming in, 82.40 for the first run of Kim Lea-Müller.
And so, from Kim, we now go to Val Lubimova, holding it down for France. She was so stoked to get into this final, and she said she had some new stuff that she wanted to do. Right there, tuck no-hander, getting her party started. One-handed 360 over the box, stepping back into that vert wall. Come on, Val. Toboggan over the hip right in front of the judges. X up going into the vert wall. Coming back, let's see. Bar spin to X up, yes, Val. Bar spin over the coping to coping spine, carving over the keyhole, getting her speed. Comes back across the course. Hipping into the vert wall, coming into the driveway box. One footer, keeping her flow going up to the top of the vert wall. Yes, Val. Getting steezy with that one-hander. Yo, toboggan to X up right there, carving over the keyhole in her in the other direction. She comes into her final thought right here, blasting the 10-foot with the toboggan. And that is gonna be time. Yes, foul. Getting a solid run in. And again, they know that best run counts, and so there's some different strategies involved. Get a solid run in, and then you can come out, run number 2, and put it all on the line and try and continue to progress yourself up the leaderboard. Right now, check out some of these replays. Bar spin to X up right there, over the fun box. And then following it up with a bar spin over that coping to coping spine. Toboggan to X up.
And she was really hoping for a spot in these finals. We were talking with her on Friday, right after qualifications, and she told us she had a couple of slips, a couple of mishaps in her run, but BMX is unpredictable. So what happened is other riders crashed as well, scoring even lower than Valeria, and that is what got her into this final. But next up, we're going to the other side of the world. We're going to Brazil, to Eduarda Bordignon, also known as Duda.
Giving it up to the Lord, and she is ready to go. Very excited for Duda to be in her first World Cup final. In the zone, and here we go. Yo, yeah. Duda, double tire grab. Yes, straight into a backflip. Yes, Duda. X up, stepping into the vert wall, stepping back into the vert wall. 360 over that coping to coping spine. Yes, Duda. Coming into the fun box. 360.
Oh, dipping
Keeping the dream alive. Keep it going, Duda.
Oh,
yo,
yes.
Transferring across that channel. Yes, Duda, tire grab over the spine backwards. Stepping down. X up over the driveway. Come on, Duda. Bar spin.
Come on, get some extra pedal strokes in. We're gonna hear that 10-second buzzer any second now. There we have it, last seconds. And now it's a matter.
Yo, awesome transfer.
Getting those wheels horizontal after that last trick. Can, unfortunately, right after the buzzer. But great first run so far for Eduarda Bordignon in her first ever World Cup final.
Coming through with some unique lines. Had some really cool course use as she was flowing around. Let's check out some of these replays. Love that double tire grab to start it off. Right into the backflip. Right here, 360 over that coping spine. And then this 360 right here. Really dipping the nose. And then coming in, case right there, which a case is when you leave the back wheel on top of the deck, but still able to stay in control of the bike and keep herself moving.
Yeah, kept herself upright.
And then that's really cool.
That's
you stepping down from that spine into the fun box landing. Putting her personal touch on the course and coming in with a 72.1. She currently has her in there. She is stoked. Love it.
And then our next rider in this first heat for her first run will be Nene Naito.
Nene dropping in, blasting into the vert wall. Hip in the driveway box, coming back across the course. Is flowing.
So as Zach, our MC, is mentioning, Nene is ill. She's a bit sick. But she did drop in to score points in the Japanese Cup. So that is going to be it for Nene Naito.
But yeah, hats off to her, even not feeling well. Still come out, roll around a little bit, and do a little bit more than roll around. She was flowing, getting some height up on the vert wall, jumping the hips. Again, she's an incredible rider. And really threw down in the qualifying to get herself into the finals here. But then, yeah, unfortunately just not feeling the best, and so she's able to recover quick and be back on it. But again, scoring some points.
I'm not too familiar with the Japanese Cup, but I do know there's the Minavi Cup and other contests. So what they have here in Japan is like their own Japanese Cup with several contests throughout the country.
Yep. All right, so we're going to go back to the top of the run order for all of these riders' second runs. And Yuika Yamamoto getting back in the mix. Coming over that big spine into the box jump. What 360 tail whip. Going down, but right back up. Cranking across the course to get her speed going. Again, some of the toughest women you will ever meet.
She got right back onto that bike. Yuika Yamamoto. Oh, 540. Took a bat slam to her right leg.
What a warrior.
Oh, she's back up again.
Not stopping. She's still got 20. She's like, I got 20 seconds on the clock. I'm going to keep this going.
We already had a medic rushing in on the course, and she just
still getting
gestured
points.
him like, hey, I don't need a medic. Somebody call an ambulance, but not for me.
Yuika, tough as nails. Yo, no foot can into the vert wall. Wow.
She was determined to fight.
That is a BMXer right there. Taking a gnarly slam. Like, no, I still got time on the clock. I'm going to keep things going. Right here, let's check out some of these replays. So this was the 360 tail whip. Trying to hang on to it with everything she could. Sliding out, but again, right back up. And then right here, looked like she was going for 720, 540. Sliding, falling off the side of the landing. You saw her grabbing her ankle, but then it's like, no, I still got time. Got back up. And threw it down. I love that no put can at the end. And again, this is Minato's final competition. And no better place to do it than in her home country. Again, it has been so awesome to see everything that she's accomplished in her career. And looking to get a little bit of redemption. She had that loop out on the backflip in run number 1, but she's given the thumbs up and she's ready to go here in run number 2. I hope we get to see a turn down from her. She's got an incredible turn down, but we will have to see. She's up on the bike, dropping in. Let's go, Minato. Tire grab to table.
Yes.
Backflip, there it is. Getting it clean, sweet redemption for Minato. And huge smile on her face.
That is going to give her the power to keep it going in that second run here at the last dance for Oike Minato. The first Japanese rider ever to compete at the Olympics.
Tire grab to turn down. Minato.
Some wild combinations.
Tire grab over that coping to coping spine, stepping back into the vert wall.
No-hander.
Full extension on the tuck no-hander over the fun box. Turn down over the coping to coping spine. Yes, Minato, X up, stepping back into the vert wall, coming into the final thoughts of her run.
3, 2, 1.
Toboggan. Let's go, Minato, full pull for her final run.
And with that, Oike Minato puts a wrap on her career as a professional BMX rider. Arigato gozaimasu, Oike Minato.
Such a sweet moment to get the run you were trying to do, get redemption on that backflip, and just throw down an epic final run. Here's that redemption on the backflip, getting it clean right there, and then folding this tabletop on that 10-foot. Right here, tire grab.
And then boom.
Turn down. Let's go. Like I said, she's got a great turn down. Full extension on that tuck no-hander.
A real pioneer and inspiration for women's BMX freestyle here in Japan and all around the world.
Yeah, so stoked for her. And what a moment we just got to witness. And her throwing down her final run, and we'll see where the judges.
And this does not have to be the end of her BMX career. What we see is a lot of, let's say, ex-professional riders, you know, helping out with the national teams, coaching. So something tells me she will be involved in the Japanese BMX team.
Yeah, and again, just incredible what she's accomplished in her riding and what she's been able to do on her BMX bike, and then just has such a great attitude. So definitely has a bright future as she continues into this next season. And you just see that stoke. Loving it. Score coming in, 65.6, which has her in 4th place. Again, that was an epic moment. Now we go to Germany's Kim-Lea Mueller looking for that overall title.
Come on, Kim. Ready to risk it all for claiming the overall win here in the UCI BMX Freestyle World Cup. Ready to send it. Hitting the big quarter. Kim-Lea Mueller is on a mission. She needs to do better than Miharu Ozawa to lay claim to the World Cup win. Big backflip.
Yes,
keeps it
Kim.
going. Halfway that second run for Kim-Lea Mueller. 360. The German national team is losing it as they're cheering on Kim-Lea Mueller. Yes, can. Proper extension on that one. A couple more hits here on the park. That was the 10-second buzzer. 360. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And time for Kim-Lea Mueller. Right now, after the first run, taking the lead here in Sakai. Let's see what the score will bring for that second run. Virtually, at this moment, she has the win in the World Cup, but we still have Miharu Ozawa riding in the heat after this one. So let's look at the action in the second run of Kim-Lea Mueller. That big backflip, straightening out her body as she completes the rotation.
Getting the extension on the can right there. Coming with that 360. The end of her run. Again, looking to see what they're going to do. So she's going to stay with her first, which again, she did miss a couple components from her first run in that second run. So she's going to stay with that first run score of an 82.4, which currently has her in first place. And we're going to see if that's going to keep her at the top of the overall ranking. But that being said, we're going to Val Lubimova, representing France. She had a solid first run, and I know she has a few more things she wants to do in this second run, starting it off with that tuck no-hander right into the 360 one-hander over the box. Val getting her flow, looking for that toboggan, going a little deep, but keeping it going. She carves up to the top of that vert wall, coming over the fun box. Yes, she wanted that tail whip and getting it done. Yes, Val. Coming back across the course. Up to the top of that vert wall. Val coming across, X up over the driveway box. Coming back at the box jump. X up for Val into her final 10 seconds. Goes over the roller in between the coping and coping spine.
Tail whip. Oh! Catching it with one pedal.
looking for that tail whip air, getting the one foot on, the other one dabbing, but again, keeping herself rolling. Let's check out some of these replays for Val. Full extension on that tuck no-hander to start things off. And just the steez letting that one-hand drag in that 360. Looking for that toboggan right there over the hip in front of the judges. And right here, that tail whip over the fun box, keeping her foot off the ground. And then right here at the end of her run, looking for the tail whip on that 10-foot, getting the 1 foot on, other one dragging, but again, rolling out of it. And so she's gonna stay with her first run score as well as her second run. 66.2 does not eclipse her first run score of a 73.6. But with that, we go back to Duda, holding it down for Brazil, giving it up to the Lord, and she's ready to go. Got her first run done, and know that she has more that she wants to bring to this second run. Getting herself in the zone, and here we go. Come on, Duda. Yeah, love that double tire grab to tuck no-hander.
Yes!
Backflip. Yes, Duda. Boosting the hip after the backflip. 360 over the coping and coping spine. Come on, Duda.
It's
stepping back into the vert wall.
All in for the Brazilian national champion.
So steezy, dipping that nose, tuck no-hander over the spine. Yo, foot plant up on the vert wall, transferring across the channel. The coping and coping spines, tire grab over the big spine backwards, stepping down into the vert wall, coming across the driveway with an X up. Come on, Duda. Oh! Right there, she's been working on that flare in the warm-ups. That one right there, getting her tires underneath her. Just sliding out, she's got a massive smile on her face. She's got 3 seconds on the clock. Looks like she might be coming for sweet redemption. Come on, Duda.
She really wanted that flare. The number 7 in the UCI World Ranking right now.
Love that double tire grab to tuck no-hander.
I wonder if it's
backflip right there.
If it's Gustavo or her that came up with that trick combination. Like, who was the first of them?
And right here, just getting so stylish on that 360, dipping the nose, landing so clean. Awesome seeing her hit that transfer across the channel. Then right here, looking for it. Had it coming around, had both tires down. But leaning over it just a bit and sliding out. Right there on it. She's gonna stay with her first run score. Giving love to everyone back home. So awesome to see her out here getting it done in her first World Cup final. With that, we go back to Nene.
Oh, she got back on her bike.
Again, she is under the weather, just not feeling her full self. So instead of risking it, she's just rolling around again here in her home country. So giving some love to the crowd. Rolling around and getting herself some points for the Japanese Cup points ranking. Again, she was riding awesome in qualifying to even get to this point. Was really looking forward to see what she was going to be able to do, but completely respect that. This is an extremely dangerous sport, so you want to be in your right mind in what you're doing. So she's just rolling around again. Love going over, waving to all the the fans that are here, giving that love. With that, we are going to get our second heat of riders out to get a little bit of warm up, as Nene was the final rider for heat number 1. So we have our final 6 riders coming in just a moment. They have some time to warm up, but wow, what an incredible heat number 1 to get this finals party started.
So let's have another look at the standings after heat number 1. In the lead, in the leaderboard right now is Kim Lea Muller, and second Valeria Libimova, and in third Eduarda Bordignon. Now Kim has the lead still with 82.40 points, but in our next heat of 6 riders, we will have someone that is still up for the overall World Cup win. Now for our next course, we will be serving you 2 of the best Australian riders, 2 of the best German riders, and 2 of the best Japanese riders. We will have Sarah Nicki, Liliana Zeidler, a new young talent from Japan, Mio Yoshida, our FISE regular Lara Marie Lesman, then Australian Olympic medalist Natalia Deem, and then the best qualifying rider from Friday, Miharu Ozawa. And Miharu Ozawa, I mean, a lot of focus will be on Miharu since she is also up for the overall World Cup win against Kim Lea Muller. But first, all eyes on the Australian bundle of energy, Sarah Nicki.
Yeah, she has been absolutely on it this year. Her progression is crazy. Always comes with so much stoke, getting herself in the zone. So here we go. Come on, Sarah. Bar spin to start things off. Yo, right into a bar spin to Can. Yes. ET into that vert wall. Going 2 times around with it. Over the driveway tabletop, going on that pocket into the elevated portion with the Can. X up on that elevated spine lip, stepping down into the vert wall. Come on, Sarah, keep it going. Coming across the box, trying to keep her speed and her flow going. Can. Sarah cranking across the course, building up that speed. Tabletop on that 10-foot quarter. X up. Come on, Sarah. She comes into her final 10 seconds. Flare, yes! Right there again, that is a part of her progression throughout this season. Awesome flare. Can. Final seconds, X up. Wow. That flare was awesome. And you see her stoked pulling that off. Oh, it's so awesome when you see these riders get the run that they want. Getting some stoke from the fans. They got the signs cheering her on.
And this weekend we have a whole Australian delegation here in Sakai, because we not only had the professional competitions, we also had amateur competitions. A lot of young talents from Australia made their way over here. And when we're talking about the new generation that is stepping up in Australia, well, Sarah Nikki is part of them.
Absolutely.
But she's also already coaching them at the young age of 19 years old. So let's have another look at Sarah Nikki's run with that bar spin to can-can, two of the classic BMX tricks. The vice champion, national champion of Australia.
Right here, check out this flare. Getting the
Brilliant.
pop she was looking for, but putting both wheels down and rolling out of it clean. Awesome flare, and you see her excitement getting that run done right there.
Best result for Sarah Nikki in the World Cup this year was a 19th place in Montpellier. Did not compete in Shanghai.
And it's huge to get that first run handled, because again, with this best run format, you already have an awesome run in the books,
yeah.
And then you can come out run number 2 and really throw down. See what you're able to do, but she was throwing down in that first run already and getting rewarded for it. Score coming in 74,
Whoa.
even bumping her up into that second place spot. So from Sarah, we now go to German's Liliana Siedler. Again, she has been making a name for herself this season as well.
We've really been seeing her progress throughout each contest, coming up with more and more technical tricks. Starting off here with that 360 by Germany's Liliana Seiler. The vice national champion of Germany. Tail whip over the spine.
Yes, Liliana.
That is not an easy task to do. But Liliana has everything under control with that 360. Keeps the speed high. Actually, no hands over the spine, stretching the hands. Bar spin into the vert wall. Halfway, that first run, 360
yes,
X
Liliana.
up. The German team cheering her on. X up to the seat grab. X
Putting
up.
together an awesome run.
Come on, Liliana, as we head into the last 10 seconds, that's the buzzer. X up. Tail whip.
Yeah.
Oh, yes! Bar spin to tail tap.
Let's go. Bar spin to tail tap to cap off that run for Liliana.
And that's one of those technical combinations that she comes up with. Last year at Brussels Urban Sessions in the best trick session, even went for a tail whip to tail tap. So that's something that we might see in her second run.
Absolutely. Some cool combos. Let's check out some of these replays. Clicking that X up. Right here, floating the 360. Case in the top. Again, able to recover her speed and keep it going. And this right here, the tail whip over that coping to coping spine. Always a scandalous move. Liliana handling business with it, floating that 360 over the fun box. Right here, bar spin.
And when you stomp down a run like this, and you get a decent score, and it's going to boost your confidence and maybe even, you know, give you that extra 5% for your next run. And see, that's what we were talking about, that bar spin. So you rotate the bars, and then to tail tap. So a tail tap is when you pivot on the back wheel on top of the ramp and then back into it. Now she's using the brakes for that. You can also do it just by pedal pressure.
Yeah, definitely a risky move at the end of the run, showing that tech side and getting rewarded for it with a 79.9. Her bumping into that second place position. So we definitely got a battle on our hands here in this final stop. So we're gonna go to Mia Yoshida. And here we go. Starting things off, blasting that spine on the top, and then what? No way.
360 look
awesome.
back to bar spin.
Let's go. Mio is on it, locking in that look back, the elevated portion, tuck no-hander, coming back down to the box jump. Yo, super C-grab Indy. Let's go, Mio. Cranking the X up into the vert wall, tuck no-hander across the driveway. Mio is on it right now. This is an insane run. X up over the hip, next to that, yo, transferring into that spine lip from the box lip. Bar spin into the vert wall. Mio tricking everything she hits. Coming across that fun box up to the top of the vert wall. Tuck no-hander. She comes into her final thought right here, 360. Getting both wheels parallel before the buzzer, and that was an incredible first run. And you see the excitement, that was wild.
And Mio has really been taking the BMX scene by storm. We only discovered her at the last World Cup stop in Shanghai, but if we take a look at her season, Vice National Champion of Japan, Vice Continental Champion of Asia.
Look at this. Look back to bar spin, clicking the look back, and then she's like, I still got time throwing the bars. That was an awesome combo. Sorry to interrupt, but that was just so good. And then I mean, we Super C Indy.
We have to address the madness that is unfolding right before our eyes. So best result for Yoshida. For Mio, was it the last World Cup, her first World Cup? That was a 5th place already. And with a run like that, she could even podium. But that is not a decision up to me. That is a decision up to our judging panel here up on a tower.
Yeah, that was such a dialed run. Awesome combos, just incredible. Ryan just making an awesome name for herself out here. So the score to beat currently is Kim's 82.4. So we'll see where the judges put her in. Wow! Score coming in 91.4. New leader.
Mio Yoshida broke through the 90-point barrier. This does not happen too often. Wow. Okay, now the pressure is really on for our next rider, another FISE regular, Lara Marie Lesman, as she's getting ready to drop in and conquer the course here in Sakai. Dropping in, starting off with that no-hander, qualifying third on Friday. Yes, letting go off the wheels. Look at that. X up as she's switching the pedals.
Cranking the turn down. 1 foot X up right there. Laura is on it. 360 over the fun box. Yo, 1 hand, 1 foot. Can. Clean as it gets. Yes, Laura, no foot can over that coping and coping spine. ET over the hip, coming into the 10 foot. X up. Yes, Laura. Bar spin to X up. Hipping back into the box jump with a fully extended can. Yes, Laura coming into her final 10 seconds. Little nose bonk over the driveway hip. Knack. She comes in at 10 foot on the other side, cranking the turn down. Yes, Laura, look back. Wow. Back-to-back tricks. That was awesome. Huge first run for Laura.
Amazing first run by Lara Marie Lesman. Look at that, starting off with that no-hander and then letting go of the feet in that extended no-foot
so it's definitely
can.
something to watch, like even right there, going into it and coming out. So she will switch her feet. She's normally left foot forward, but she will switch her feet for no-foot cans and turn downs. So difficult to ride with your feet in that opposite position, a switch position, but she feels more comfortable doing those tricks with her feet like that, and so it's something to watch as you see her riding around the course. Right there, she did the no foot can, and then she switched her feet back to left foot forward.
So right here. Right foot here.
And then locks in the look back right after that. But that is definitely something to watch with her riding. Again, it is so difficult to ride with your feet switch-footed. The score coming in for her, an 81.36, which puts her in that third place position.
Next up, your Paris Olympian bronze medalist, current Australian champion.
She is such a powerful rider, and here she comes with her first run. Yo, downside tail whip. Wow, Natalia coming out swinging.
Into the flare, okay.
Yes, Natalia.
Now it's time for the next sequence of the rocket that is called Natalia Deem. Nice and high with that tabletop, another BMX classic trick, toboggan. Getting nice and high with the tabletops. And she is familiar with this course, competing in both the Tokyo and Paris Olympics. Tabletop nice and flat, with Natalia Deem stretching the hands on that no-hander. 20 more seconds as she goes up the wall, picking up that speed again. Backflip, stops it. And we're heading into the last seconds for Natalia Deem. Tail whip, yes, nails it. Keep it going. Tire grab, last seconds. Will she be able to make it in time? Tabletop. And we got the thumbs up from the technical delegate. So that tabletop did count for her overall score, which is going to be calculated by the judges as we speak.
And you see that passion from her at the end of her run, getting it done. That is what she set out to do, and she handled it from start to finish. I mean, came out swinging. Look at this, to start it off, downside tail whip over that hip, right into this flare. Sticking it so clean. And right here, textbook, proper folding that table on that 10-foot quarter. Floating the 360, coming in so clean. Again, the judges are looking for that execution, landing right at the top of the box jump. Full extension on her tuck no-handers. All right, here, this backflip over that fun box. Right into the tuck no-hander over the spine. That was such a clutch run.
Now with the tips and the flares, it has been an Achilles heel for Natalia, but the last couple of months she's been really working on it, combining, you know, the pressure at a contest with the performing of these tricks. And look at that, 86.80, putting her in the second place, and mathematically that will give her a place not only on the podium here for Sakai, but also on the podium in the overall World Cup.
Yeah, that was such a clutch run for Natalia.
But in this heat, one more rider left to perform her first run, and that will be the current leader on the UCI World Ranking and second in the World Cup ranking, Miharu Ozawa, taking second at FISE Montpellier with an amazing run with the backflip, double bar spin combinations, and much more.
Yeah, we're gonna get to look at just the epic riding from her all throughout the season.
And keep in mind, she is only 16 years old.
So wild. 360 tail whips, double bar spin. It's incredible. And then here, now we're transitioning over to the Shanghai competition. That Shanghai tower was insane, backflipping it. That was the biggest feature on the course.
Shanghai, where she just missed out on podium with her fourth spot, but still, right now, ranking in second on that World Cup. Now she needs to do better than Kim Leamur if she wants to take the final victory of this World Cup. Can the Japanese national champion do it? Not only Japanese national champion, also Asian continental champion. Here we go with Miharu Ozawa in that first run for her. Starting off with that backflip, double bar spin, bar catch bar, back into the wall, ready to hit the driveway, full speed, bar spin across it, into the Hurricane Park's wall.
Wow!
She has that need for speed can as she makes her way to the jump box, 360 bar spin, also known as that truck driver, into the wall. Look how high she's going, using all that height and converting it into momentum and speed. Back into the top part. 360,
Yeah.
the big spine. Backflip
What?
tail whip. And she nails it.
No way, Miharu!
Over the
Then fold
keyhole.
in the tabletop. This is insane.
We're gonna hear that 10-second buzzer for Miharu Ozawa. X up. She has her eyes on the prize. The final victory here in Sakai. And what an amazing first run by Miharu Ozawa.
Unreal. Again, from start to finish. Miharu throwing down. That was a run. That backflip tail whip. Getting her feet back on that bike. Let's check out some of these replays. Bar spin to X up to start things off. And then backflip, bar spin, catch bar spin.
A triple trick combination.
And then look at this height. Out of the top of that 17-foot vert wall. Coming through 360 bar spin, aka the truck driver. So you'll hear us shorten it to truck driver often, but right here, this, the backflip tail whip, kicking it around and getting her
holding
feet
on.
back on that bike, hanging on, keeping the dream alive, and that can over the coping to coping spine to wrap up a run. And a little extra credit, tail whip back into the vert wall. That was wild right there. So again, she needs to place above Kim to get that overall title here at this final stop of the UCI BMX Freestyle World Cup. Wow!
Jumping to the top of the leaderboard. 95.50.
Woo!
So one thing is for certain, the overall season win will go to Miharu Ozawa.
Wow.
Now there's only one more question left to be answered. Who will take the win here in Sakai today? So it's time for the second runs of all these riders, starting off with Sarah Nicky from Australia.
You saw her stick that flare and run number one. The momentum's building, the atmosphere is wild out here in Sakai. Sarah getting herself stoked.
Ready to drop in with the beat.
And Sarah's in, bar spin to X up. Backflip over the box jump, yes Sarah. Double ET into that vert wall. Yes Sarah, 1 foot at X. Tabletop, pocketing into that 10-foot quarter, can up into the elevated portion of the course, X up on the spine lip, and then stepping back down into that vert wall, coming at the fun box. Yo!
Oh, quick
pendulum. Yes, Sarah. Coming in looking for, what?
Yes!
Flare can, let's go, Sarah, cranking across the course. X up over that driveway, yes. Tabletop keeping it going. 1 foot X. Can, yes, Sarah. Stepping back down, coming at the fun box. Bar spin, clean coming into that final 10.
And she's gonna call it, but what a...
I hearing the buzzer, thinking that was the end.
She mistakenly heard that first buzzer. So yeah, we have two buzzers. The first one is a 10-second buzzer, and then after that, it's the final buzzer. So she misheard that first buzzer as a final one. But it's okay.
Yeah, putting down an awesome run. Let's check out some of these replays. Bar spin to X. Right into the backflip over the box. Tabletop pocketing, and then jumping into the elevated, and right there the pendulum air, doing no foot cans in both directions, and right here the flare can. Again, her progression is wild. What a rad trick to be able to throw down in the finals. Yeah, and having the slight confusion with that buzzer, but putting down an awesome run. Again, epic season for Sarah, and just so awesome to see her overall progression through the season, which is building that momentum for next year. With that, we go to Germany's Liliana Siedler.
Now 4 more riders have a shot at overtaking Miharu Ozawa, who is still in the lead right now.
And here we go with Liliana. Fully clicked X up to start things off, floating the 360 over the box jump, roasting that hip, carving around that keyhole, coming back at the coping spine with that tail whip, getting it clean. Yes, Liliana. Stepping back into that vert wall, coming at the fun box. Yo! Super C grab, Indy. Let's go. Tuck no hander over the spine. Liliana turning it up even more in run number 2. 360 X up over the coping spine, getting cheered on.
So currently Liliana sitting in 6th here in Sakai. Can she improve on that second run as we're heading in the last seconds for that second run? Come on, Liliana. Picking up that speed again. Hitting the corner with the tail whip. One more. Disaster and time for Liliana Siedler from Germany.
That Super C Indy over the fun box was definitely a highlight for me in her run. Right here, this tail whip over that coping spine. Again, gnarly to do that. And then right here, so awesome, getting the extension, swinging the legs, and pulling it off clean. Fully clicked. 360 X up. And this tail whip at the end of her run on that 10-foot quarter. Score coming in, 75, so she's gonna keep that first run score of a 79.9.
And next up to Mio Yoshida. Also one of the youngest contestants here in the final, here at the final stop of FISE in Sakai. Dropping in, starting off with a nice and lofty air over that spine into the 360. Look back to bar spin.
Oh, that combo is so good.
Ready to hit the driveway, picking up that speed again as she gets to the upper level of the Tokyo 2020 park. Letting go of the hands in that no-hander. Oh, Superman Indy. Up high in the vert wall again. 30 seconds in. Getting up high again. Look at the speed of her no-hander. Into the wall with that bar spin. Yes. Nimble with the hands on those bar spins. Mio Yoshida currently sitting in 2nd here. 360. Even spinning the opposite direction on that 360. If I was not mistaken. Because she is goofy-footed.
So she's gonna see if that score can bump her up into first. But this combo to start it out, the 360 look back to bar spin, that is so awesome. All right, they're locking in that look back, that elevated quarter. Mio, again, really making a name for herself this season. At only 15 years old. So that's when you can start competing in World Cups, is at 15. And so, boom, right out of the gate, stepping into the scene, making a name for yourself, and right now sitting in a podium position at this final World Cup stop. And right there, she's gonna have to stay with that first run score, which again, does have her sitting in 2nd place with only 2 riders that could switch that up. And we go to one of those riders, Laura Lessman, looking to get herself into a podium position. Again, watch her feet as she switches them up for different tricks, but right now, Laura is in. Huge tuck no-hander to start things off. No foot can full extension. The back foot slipping off the pedal and dragging, but she's keeping it going, cranking the turn down over the coping spine. One-footed X up over the fun box hip. Coming back at it right there, switching the feet. Sui no-hander. What? Yes. Can. That's Laura. No foot can over the coping spine. Nose bonk over the fun box hip. Nose bonk in the other direction. Little one-footed steez over the coping spine. Stepping back into that vert wall. Final 10 seconds, keeping it rolling. That foot drag on the no foot can in the start, throwing off the run. And she had an awesome first run, so knows that foot slipping off is not gonna improve on her first run. But still good to see her continuing to keep the run going for us. But let's check out some of these replays. Tuck no hander, and then here's where things went wrong. Full extension, putting the foot on and not having it fully centered over the pedal, and so the impact of the landing caused it to slide off and drag on the ground, and that's definitely gonna be huge point deduction. And so she knew that this run would, from that moment on, not improve on her first run score. But again, awesome to see her keep going. So she's gonna stay with that first run score of an 81.36, which has her sitting in 5th place.
I just have a look back at her World Cup career. 3 golds, 4 silvers, and 3 bronze medals. For Lara Marie Lessman, another BMX Freestyle pioneer.
So we have one rider left that can switch up the leaderboard here at this final stop. But what is huge is she is already sitting in a podium position, which means she is going to have a podium position for the overall title. But let's see what she can do here in run number 2 as she's looking to climb up that leaderboard even more. She had an insane first run from start to finish, coming out swinging, and so here she goes for run number 2.
Starting off with that downside tillip. That's a new one for Natalia Deem. That's a progression that we talk about in this sport. Flare into
Flare
the
tire
wall.
grab. Yes.
Just
taking it up a notch. Let's go, Nat.
Just earlier this year, she was one of the first to land that trick in competition, the flare tire grab. And it's becoming one of her staple tricks now. Oh!
Looking for that extra roast. Getting a little off center on her bike and sliding out. Nat, she was turning it up in run number 2. But again, she is stoked. She has a podium spot here today at the World Cup, and then she also claimed for herself a podium spot in the overall.
So it's going to be a good weekend for Team Australia. But an even better weekend for Team Japan, because yesterday we wrapped up the flatland competitions, and the medal tally right now is at 6 medals for Japan. But first, look at that, the flare tire grab.
Just folding that tabletop over. So good. And then right here, really trying to roast, get that extra height, just getting her a little bit off. Sliding out, huge smile on her face again. Epic year for her, claiming a spot on that overall title podium, as well as a 3rd place finish here at this final stop.
But now this is going to be a victory lap for the Japan national champion, the Asian continental champion. 2nd place in Montpellier, 4th in Shanghai, 4th at the World Championships. Ladies and gentlemen, Miharu Ozawa, already the winner here in Sakai, but she's going to put up a show here with that backflip double bar spin into the vert wall. Ready to hit the driveway with full speed, bar spin.
Yes, Miharu. Wow.
And the pressure is off now. She already has the win here in Sakai, not just for this World Cup stop, but also for the overall
360 tail whip.
World Cup.
She did a truck driver in run number 1, so taking up the risk level with that 360 tail whip in run number 2. Coming at the fun box.
Oh, backflip.
Yes, Miharu.
And still 20 more seconds on the clock for Miharu Ozawa.
Huge tail whip. The crowd is loving it. Miharu is on it. Into her final 10 seconds. Back into that elevated portion. 360 down the spine, coming in the box shot. Backflip tail whip. Oh! Coming up just a little bit short on it.
We have our Japan medical team. We have Guido with us, who is a regular at this type of contests. And all that enthusiasm,
Yeah, some of the best medical staff
that Miharu had. She was going all in, wanted to do one more big trick for the crowd here in Sakai. Unfortunately, she crashed on that flip tail whip. But we have the medics with her right now.
Again, that was a victory lap. She already has the victory here at this final.
She's up again.
These are, again, some of the toughest riders running up to the top to give some love to the fans and all their support. What an incredible young lady throwing down. Check out some of these highlights of her victory lap. Backflip, double bar spin. Look at how high. That tire up over the top of that 17-foot tall vert wall. Full extension on the can-cans. Right here, this is where taking that risk level up, that 360 tail whip. Backflip in the fun box. What a season for Miharu. And right here, backflip tail whip. Again, the distance was not there. Taking a heavy slam. Getting checked out by the medical, and she's like, no, don't put me on the stretcher. I'm good.
Okay,
I gotta go say what's up to all these incredible fans. Huge smile on her face as she knows what she has accomplished out here. Yeah, praise the Lord, she's good and was able to just bounce back up. After that, again, some of the toughest riders.
And there we have our final result. Our podium for today will be Australia's Natalia Dean with the 86.80. The young talent, Mio Yoshida, with the 91.40. And topping the podium, our winner here at the FISE World Series stop in Sakai, Japan, Miharu Ozawa, absolutely obliterating the competition with the 95.5 score. Now, it's not only the score for this contest that we've been looking forward to, but also the score for the overall ranking in the UCI BMX Freestyle World Cup. So we had 3 stops. We had Montpellier, Shanghai, and then today's stop in Sakai. And we were talking about the battle between Miharu and Kim, and it was Kim who took the lead here in Sakai, claiming the win, giving her the overall win. Then in second, Kim Leamulch, and then Natalia, by divine intervention, jumping to the top of the podium. And the tiebreaker for this type of competition is that it is the last result that counts as a tiebreaker. And since Hannah is unfortunately not here, it is Natalia that claims the bronze in the UCI BMX Freestyle World Cup. So that wraps up our last World Cup stop here in Sakai, our last competition this year, and pretty much also the last competition for, let's say, the season. Now, Dustin, if we would look back at the last contests that we saw throughout, what really stuck with you?
I mean, just the overall trajectory of progression for women's freestyle BMX is crazy, and what a treat it has been throughout the entire season.
Okay. Now, I'm just hearing that we'll be getting to the floor to honor our champions. So we are gonna check in with Catfish right now.
Let's go.
We knew it was going to be a hard-fought battle here at the final stop of the FISE World Cup, and it absolutely was. I think all of us are still completely amazed at what we just watched. Let's meet our three podium finishers. In third place, representing Team Australia, Natalia Deem.
Rocking the flag of Australia, Natalia Deem.
Presented by her third place trophy is the FISE founder, Hervé André Benoit.
Yeah, what a battle it was out here at this third and final stop.
Walking away with second place honors from Japan, Mio Yoshida. She is being presented her trophy by the UCI technical delegate, Bart de Jong.
And look at that, the first podium in the World Cup Series for Mio Yoshida.
And your champion from Japan, Miharu Ozawa.
Miharu Ozawa and her first
place
win.
Trophy being presented by the governor of the Ibaraki Prefecture, Mr. Kazuhiko Oigawa.
大井川和彦様から贈呈されます。
And we have our mascot, the Sakatachi. Presenting the third place is Mr. Tomitaro Noguchi, president of the local organizing committee.
And
堺たちのプレゼンター
with the
は
local
本大
mascot,
会の実行委員
we
長
also want to thank the
Second place.
town of Sakai
贈呈され
and the
ます。
prefecture of Ibaraki for making all of this
Mr.
possible and all the sponsors involved here in
Hashimoto,
Sakai.
the mayor of town of Sakai, and the governor of the Ibaraki Prefecture, Mr. Kazuhiko Oigawa. These are your champions, Japan. Let them hear you!
I'm still not sure which animal the mascot is. I think it's a beaver? Or a groundhog?
It's fun. I love the heart on the belly. No, my daughters would be stoked on that. But wow, look at this podium. That was an incredible competition with just such a high level of riding. Again, the progression throughout the season, culminating here in Sakai, was such a treat.
And with that, that brings the medal tally for FISE Sakai to 8 medals for Japan and 1 for Australia.
Let's go down for an interview with Miharu.
Miharu, you had an amazing season. You're one of the youngest champions out here. What does it feel like to win?
本当に今年は素晴らしいシーズンで世界チャンピオンで かなり若い選手なんですけれども、どんなような商品をもらいたいですか？
まずはここで優勝できてとても嬉しいです。ありがとうございました。
Who was her toughest competition?
First of all, she said, I'm so happy to win here. Thank you very much. 一番のライバルはどの選手ですか？
ライバルは自分です。
My biggest rival is myself.
What do you have to say to all of the younger females out there watching you worldwide? You inspire a lot of girls all over the world. What words of advice do you have for girls that look up to you?
世界中の若い選手たちに向けてのメッセージ、世界中の人たちは目標にしていると思うんですけれども、彼女たちへのメッセージは？
まあ練習してったら絶対上手くなると思うので、これからも一緒に頑張りましょう。
So if you practice a lot, we will improve. So let's all practice and improve together. Thank you so much.
I love it. Congratulations. One more round of applause for your champion and World Cup champion, Miharu Ozawa.
And that was a great speech and some great words of advice from our FISE Sakai winner, Miharu Ozawa. Dustin, I want to thank you again for all your expertise here today, but don't run away yet because we still have one more competition coming up in an hour, and that is going to be the last competition of this FISE World season, unfortunately, and that is going to be the finals in the BMX Freestyle Men's Elite competition. So we're going to have a bit of lunch real quick, and then we'll back for you guys, and we hope you guys stay tuned in as well. See ya.
Thank you all. God bless.